Welcome to your friendly neighborhood historian, where we discuss just enough history to inform, intrigue, and entertain. I'm Bill Petro. The science of the winter solstice. As I previously mentioned in my podcast on Advent and why we celebrate Christmas on December 25th, the Romans celebrated a holiday known as the Saturnalia, associated with the winter solstice, especially during the latter Empire period. The word solstice comes from the Latin solstitium, meaning sun standing still. This year, it occurs in Greenwich, England, near London, at 9:20 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, or Coordinated Universal Time, or Zulu Time. It happens on December 21st and marks the first day of the winter season in the Northern Hemisphere from an astronomical perspective. In reference to the seasons, Earth enjoys different seasons because the planet is tilted 23 degrees and 27 minutes off the perpendicular to its plane of orbit. This means that the world revolves like a tilted, spinning top. The winter solstice is the shortest day of sunshine in the year, as the sun is at its lowest arc in the sky, at least in the northern hemisphere. The farther north one goes from the equator, the more pronounced this daylight difference is in winter. However, as the Earth continues its orbit around the sun, the hemisphere that is angled closest to the sun changes, and the seasons are reversed. When we say solstice means sun standing still, what we mean is this. In the northern hemisphere, the sun appears at its lowest point in the sky, and its noontime elevation appears to be the same for several days before and after the solstice. In this way, it looks like the sun is standing still in the sky from the perspective of someone standing on the earth until, following the winter solstice, the days begin to grow longer and the nights shorter. In London, on the winter solstice, the sun sets at 3:53 p.m., and the daylight is only 7 hours and 50 minutes long. Solstice and the Roman Saturnalia. I've spoken previously about how the Romans celebrated Saturnalia around this time of year, honoring Saturn as the head of their pantheon of titans. Saturday gets its name from Saturn. Here are some know-it-all facts to impress your friends and family. The solstice is called the shortest day of the year, or the extreme of winter, though it begins the winter season. You cast your longest shadow at noon on this day. It has the fewest hours of sunlight and the most hours of darkness. In New York City, 9 hours and 15 minutes of sunlight. Helsinki, Finland, 5 hours, 49 minutes of sunlight. Barrow, Alaska, 0 minutes of sunlight. There's no sunrise at all until January 22nd. Ironically, being the shortest day of the year, for people living in the U.S., you've already endured the earliest sunset of the year. In Caribou, Maine, the eastern edge of our eastern time zone, the sun dips below the horizon at 3:43 p.m. from December 8th through 12th. In New York City, the sunset is at 4:28 p.m. between December 3rd and 12th. However, in Key West, Florida, the sunset is at 5:38 p.m., occurring between November 23rd all the way to December 5th. It's all about your latitude. Thanks for listening. I'm Bill Petro, your friendly neighborhood historian. You can find more details on this topic and others on my website at billpetro.com.